So NBA Finals Game 1 just happened, and to say it was an anticlimax is a bit of an understatement. Things are looking a little bit grim for the Miami Heat, but of all teams, heck, I'm not going to bet it. I don't think that the entire series is going to be like this, trust me. Teams like Miami, they will find a way to fight back. But man, there's a lot of things we learned in this game. There's a lot of things we learned. Do I think it's a foregone conclusion that the series is over? No. Do I think the Lakers are still probably going to win? Yes. Do I think it's more likely to be in 6 games or 5 or a sweep? All depending on injuries. All depending on if Bam Adebayo is injured and if Goran Dragic is out injured. Because I still give the Heat 2 games. I still give the Heat 2 games at least if those 2 guys are healthy. A bad game 1, yes. But there are still a few things that, if you're a Heat fan, you can look at it as a positive. And also, if you're a Lakers fan, this game is obviously an entire positive. So I'm just going to quickly just mention a few things that aren't going to be mentioned in kind of like my 5 main reasons. And Kendrick Nunn played well. Like, I'm recording this video, it's kind of gone into real garbage time the last 4 minutes or so of the game. Right now, Kendrick Nunn played well. The Heat bench started to come back into the game a little bit. But still, every time it looked like the Heat were going to do something to get a bit of momentum. And the Lakers have they make a big play. Like just there, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope got a block on Tyler Herro. But man, Kendrick Nunn has played a good game. So that could definitely be a positive for your Miami, especially if Goran Dragic happens to be out. If Kendrick Nunn can give you some of his production, you know what, next couple of games, they could be looking good. But I'm going to be talking about 5 of the main things. First thing is that the LeBron versus Jimmy Butler, or even the Anthony Davis versus Jimmy Butler, whichever of LeBron or AD you think is the best player on that team, I'm not going to argue either of them. I'm not going to argue either, because LeBron James dominated the game in every way except scoring the basketball. And then Anthony Davis, man, he just had an exceptional game. He had an unbelievable game, got Bam into a bit of foul trouble early and just had a great game. Jimmy's not that dude. Jimmy Butler started off pretty well in this game. But I get it, maybe he's injured. But I'm telling you right now, I think we've kind of realized that Jimmy is not that dude. He is not a guy that is going to be able to carry your offense. He is not a guy that's going to be able to take the main offensive load for an NBA team. And that is where other guys have got to come in. And with Goran Dragic is a player that can kind of make up for a little bit of that on the offensive end. However, this dude right here, Tyler Herro, has had a terrible game. But the Heat go, one thing I've mainly realized, the Heat go where Tyler Herro goes. There is a massive correlation between Tyler Herro playing well and the Heat doing well. When the Heat came back and took the lead in, I was it 43-42 they took the lead? That was on a Tyler Herro individual run. That was on an individual run from Tyler Herro more than anything else. This guy is the spark plug. This guy is the guy when things are going wrong, they give the ball to him to score. Him and Goran Dragic, and we may not see Goran Dragic again. If the Heat are to win in this series, it's not going to be from Jimmy Butler's offense. Jimmy Butler's the culture setter. Jimmy Butler's going to be there for defense. It will be Tyler Herro's offense. But one thing I will say that was a massive shock is, man, the Miami Heat did, not only did their zone not work, they didn't go to it much. Like, it was evident that the Heat can't guard this Lakers team in man-to-man because they really can't. They really cannot guard them in man-to-man. But they went to it a lot more than they went to their zone. So, I don't know. I just don't really know what the story is with that. Maybe they're just not showing their hand in game 1, getting the Lakers into false insecurity. But, man, the defense they played against the Celtics, we just didn't see it. We saw the zone for a couple of possessions, and it was just one pass wide open shot. And speaking of one pass open shot, man, Danny Green's turning back the clock. Danny Green bought a modded controller, and he's playing like he's playing with aimbot in 2K. He is looking like 2013 Spurs Danny Green out there. And it's scary because for a while, it looked like every time Danny Green touched the ball, he was going to miss for a couple of series. Now it looks like he's going to hit a shot every time he touches it. Also, again, Danny Green is still going to be that good defender. And not only Danny Green, Kuzma hit shots, KCP hit shots. This whole lineup hit shots. This Lakers team, if they shoot like this, it's GG's. If they shoot this well, I get it, they went on a massive run of missed shots. Their overall percentage isn't great, but like they started missing shots when they were up 30. I'm not really counting that. Like until they went up 30, LeBron was hitting deep threes off the dribble. Danny Green was hitting, KCP was hitting, Kuzma was hitting, Rondo hit 1-3. Like the way that this Lakers team were hitting shots, it's game over. The Heat can't match it up to them, man. The Lakers shoot like this all 4 games, they win in 4. Simple. And one thing that I think is a bit of a factor is Dwight Howard. I get it. Dwight Howard was on the floor at the start of the third quarter when they made a run. I think the only reason that the Lakers could not score early on in the game was because of Dwight Howard. I don't think they can play him that much in the series. I think you can play him in situations like when the Heat aren't scoring particularly well, you can put him on the floor. You can put him on the floor to get some offensive rebounds at times. But man, I don't feel like you can start Dwight Howard. If you guys saw, the only reason the Lakers the Heat were getting so many stops at the start of the game was they were able to basically bring a second man to Anthony Davis every single time. The only way they were able to stop that was they had Jay Crowder and Anthony Davis. And while Jay Crowder can't guard Anthony Davis one-on-one, if you put Dwight Howard on the floor, what happens is Bam Adebayo comes in as the help defender rather than the primary defender on Anthony Davis, and they can't really do much. You take Dwight Howard out of the game, Bam Adebayo struggled on Anthony Davis guarding him one-on-one. As well as that, you surround him with shooters that are shooting at three-pointers at a high rate. Man, you better believe that lineup is nearly unstoppable the way they're shooting. Like, if the Lakers go out without Dwight Howard and surround Anthony Davis and Brown with shooters, I don't see the Heat having much room to come back. Although Heat are bringing back to 15. Like, it's gonna look like on paper that it wasn't a blowout, even though it realistically was a 30-point blowout. But the Dwight Howard thing, I think the longer he stays on the floor, the better it is for the Heat. I know he was a net positive in the second half. I think the longer he stays on the floor, the better it is for Miami. Yeah, in general, in the regular season, it was better having Anthony Davis at the 4. I think in this specific series, because of the way the Heat match up, and the fact that they can't really play man-to-man defense, and the only way to stop Anthony Davis is by bringing down double teams, I think it's a lot more difficult to bring in double teams when you surround AD with shooters rather than put Dwight Howard on the floor. But Dwight did bring some good energy. Not a knock on him, just a knock on the fact that he allows the Heat to play the defense they want to play. But can we just give credit to the Los Angeles Lakers? They out-Miami'd Miami. We talk about Miami's culture. We talk about their grit. There was a play, I think, was it in the second quarter, where there was about 4 different loose balls. The ball broke free. LeBron dives on the ball. Kuzma dives on the ball. It ends up being a jump ball. But the way people were speaking about this, that it was Lakers had the talent, Miami had the heart, you would expect Miami to win that 50-50 dead ball every single time. The Lakers played gritty. The Lakers played tough. The Lakers not only outshot Miami, they outworked Miami. I am going to go as far as to say that. They outworked Miami. They showed that they have that grit. They have that determination. And that is huge. Obviously, I'm not going to say their culture, their chemistry is better than Miami's, because, heck, if Miami's wasn't an all-time great culture, they wouldn't be in the NBA Finals. But, man, the difference between this Lakers team and the Clippers, man, I think this Lakers team sweep the Clippers. If the Clippers beat the Nuggets, I think the Lakers team sweep the Clippers. Honestly, that is how good this team are looking right now. Is it time to overreact? Maybe not. But, man, they look good today. They looked really good today. And, yeah. My takeaways from this game, honestly, are that the Lakers are clearly the better team. They clearly are, and they clearly played a lot better today. Does this mean that it's going to be a sweep? Is this it for the series? I don't know. Will it likely be a sweep? Probably not. I still give the Heat 2 games. But this showed that when the Lakers are playing, when the Lakers are firing on all cylinders, the Miami Heat have no chance. Because as bad as Miami were, and the fact that Bam was gone the whole second half, Goran Dragic was gone the whole second half, as bad as the Miami Heat were, I don't think there's any performance the Heat could have given to not lose this game by at least 15 points. So, I'm just going to say this right here. The Heat or the Lakers play like this 4 games out of 7. They win no matter what. I don't think they necessarily do. I think maybe that I think they might win a game, scrape a game or 2 where they're not playing well. But I think the Heat are not going to play this badly again. I think the Heat are they were switched off at times on defense, which we haven't seen all playoffs. I don't think the Heat play this badly again. I don't think the Lakers play this well again. Will this series be a tight series? It's looking less and less likely. Maybe the Lakers run away with this, but I don't think this game is a sign of things to come. I think the Lakers played a great game, the Heat played a bad game, and that's basically it. Everything a Lakers fan could have hoped for is exactly what the Lakers gave. Everything a Heat fan could have dreaded is exactly what happened with a few injury scares. But at the end of the day, it is only game 1. There was the Memorial Day Massacre with the Lakers, like a Pat Riley team. There was the game 1 San Antonio Spurs versus OKC in 2016 where the Spurs won by 40. You see this time and time again where game 1 doesn't mean everything for the series. But man, they seem to just suck the life out of the Heat. So you just never know. This might be different. I still give the Heat 2 games. I'm not going to overreact to this, but this is the best game I've seen this Lakers team play, and it's not even close. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.